You know, there's something that we always see on all these police cars whenever you see them. It says protect and serve. So this poem is a reflection on that sentiment, but trying to put it together, you know, with what we've seen, what's happened in our community, what we've noticed lately. So the poem's called Protect and Serve. Protect and serve. What does that mean? When shoot to kill is what we've seen. We don't want to live in a police state filled with racist cops that hate. If it's our tax money that pays their wage, then why must we be victims of their rage? Protect and serve. Who does that mean? The corporate elite and bankers is what we've seen. Something about shooting people so many times that just doesn't make sense. They're only supposed to use their guns as a last defense. Protect and serve. Who does that apply? Or when does that apply? When killer cops say they feared for their lives and you know that it's a lie? And a kid is dead from the neighborhood. But according to the law, it's all good. They are called the law, but they are not above it. These trigger-happy cops are killing black and brown youth as if they love it. Protect and serve. What part don't you understand? The militarization of the police is causing children to be gunned down by the man. We're standing on a corner holding up a sign can get you beat up or even doing time. Protect and serve. What does that really mean? Thank you.
I'm just really upset with watching these latest incidents with the police, like the Secret Service agents the other day that were crashing the car in the White House, and yet their supervisor comes up and protects them and tells them no breathalyzing here. And it's the same thing that happened here with our police force. All these their superiors are protecting them, and it's just not right that there's several policemen that come up to me and said that they stand behind us and stuff, but they won't say it publicly because if they did say it, they'd be put out to be shot up by the rest of their brothers, the blue brothers in blue, because they would because you know they all got to stand together as a little clique, like a gang, and it's odd that they have that same ghetto mentality of no snitch policy, where they won't snitch on themselves either. They won't call it the way it really is. They just keep on hiding behind that the badge, and you know that badge is really being tarnished right now by all these police that are doing this. The police, you know, we never had this happen years ago and stuff, and the police department is deteriorating much like society is, where they have no respect for anything other than themselves, and they're selfish. So they pull their guns out just to protect themselves, and they're paid professionals. They should be looking out here to analyze the situation and put it together, you know, without shooting somebody, backing off, thinking about it. But no, their first answer is to shoot. And then they got no argument with anyone. The thing's over with as far as they're concerned, and they know damn well the district attorney and all that is not going to prosecute them because he's one of their brothers. He's a fellow cop. He's a fellow police officer, law enforcement officer. They just stand behind each other, and they're all just disrespecting all of us people, all us regular people every day, and. That's the reason we can't get this stuff to stop, because we can't get no indictments from anybody about what's going on here, because our elected officials, our district attorneys won't prosecute, and so we just keep going around and around. They just keep on allowing this to happen, and nobody's going to do nothing about it, and well, that's not the case here, because we're going to see that somebody does something about this one. We're going to see somebody does something about all of them, because this isn't right.
Hi, my name is Chris Kelly. My brother Mario Romero was murdered by the Vallejo Police Department in 2012. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, you're not aware of the corruption and brutality that is happening every day in California and across the nation until a police officer comes and kills your loved one or kills someone that you know would never put themselves in any type of position to be killed. It's very important to know that it is very true. What the police say, you know, that does not mean that that is the truth. And a lot of media accounts are not correct. Me, myself, as a person with a disability, it is very frightening to know that if I am in some way disoriented or in need of help, I could be killed, I could be murdered, and a police officer can say that I did something to bring on my own death. The situation is beyond rampant. Everybody standing up is so important. We don't get to sleep peacefully. We don't get to go about our day without struggling and suffering due to police murder and corruption. And it's important that we stand up and we get loud and we don't let them sleep or let them live comfortably after they've murdered our loved ones.
That's right.
My brother was murdered and they planted a police training replica weapon at the scene after they murdered him. The only fingerprints that were on that training weapon was of the officer who murdered him. In my city in 2012, a lot of people were murdered by the police. And the city of Richmond's police chief actually gave so-called pointers to our mayor. So I think it is, you know, really disgusting that this family cannot get the respect and the attention that they are obligated to provide to any other murder victim because their son was murdered by the police. This is not acceptable. And they want us to feel as if we can't do anything. Right now, the law only gives us the option to file a civil suit, which we all know is a civil suit. There needs to be something else in place that gives us the opportunity to push forward with indictments, to put these corrupt police officers behind bars where they belong.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
I'm going to give my condolences to the family once again and say, you know, it's very sad every time we have to welcome someone else to our family, the family of people murdered because of police murder and brutality. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am the sister of Mario Romero. Every time I speak in front of a crowd, I try to figure out what I'm going to say. So much has happened, you know, with my brother being murdered. I think about, do I start with him being shot 8 times through the palms of his hands, or do I talk about him being cut from the seatbelt, or do I talk about his body being stolen and hidden for 30 days? You know, so much has happened, and so much the police are able to get away with. You know, we stand in solidarity with the family of Pedie Perez, because we know that it's heartbreaking. You know, trying to wrap your mind around loss and trying to just understand that, you know, you don't get to see your loved one again. And on top of that, your loved one is criminalized. You know, he's not only killed in the flesh, his character is assassinated, and the police get pats on the back like they've done something great. You know, there's no accountability, and there will continue to be no accountability as long as we allow these police officers to run the streets, to go undrug tested, unpsychologically evaluated, and have more power than the president. When we get together, it's heartbreaking because we're always welcoming someone new. And we are a part of a club that no one should ever have to be a part of, you know. And you don't get the time to grieve. You don't get the time to grieve. And sometimes you have to watch who you tell your stories to, because people hate you because of what the police have done to you. They hate you because they are protecting false heroes. They are protecting false idols. They are protecting these people who are killing and lying and stealing our loved ones away. It's time that we stand up and speak about the people who have been killed in our area. This is California. We talk a lot about, you know, East Coast. You know, there are a lot of killings, but we have to talk. It's important that we speak about all of the killings that are in California, all of the killings that are in the Bay Area. It's important that we make the connection, that we come together, that we organize and understand that we are all in the same fight. Because when your loved one is murdered by the police, you become public enemy. And it's unfortunate, but we have to stand up. And, you know, the Justice for Mario Romero Foundation, we stand in solidarity with all families who have been victims of police crime. So thank you guys for having us.
All right.
Woo! Thank you.
It's great to see such a group stand. You know, they always say there's okay. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's numbers. There's power in numbers, and I believe there's power in large numbers. There's even greater power in smaller numbers, with a group that is powerful enough and brave enough and has the courage to stand up no matter what, no matter who comes out, no matter who shows up, but you stand together. You stand together, and as stand, you make a stand. That's the important part. You just don't walk away. You just don't cower down. You don't say when, oh, this happened, oh, that happened, and maybe this. No, you know your facts. And somebody says, no, that didn't happen, ma'am. You say, yes, that did. And you stand your ground. I don't know. I'm a Bay Area kid, so I'm very multicultural. I like Sly and the Family Stone, and there's a song called Stand. Yeah. And if you all know that, there's a phrase in there, and it says, stand. There's somewhere there's a giant standing tall. There's midget standing. There's a midget standing tall, and a giant next to him about to fall. Yeah. Stand. I got it backwards. That is a very strong statement, and I didn't understand it until I was brought into a family, the family of people who have been brutally murdered by police. Because it takes all of you to not forget what goes on. It takes all of you to stand up against this whole organization of blue. Not all of them, but there's enough of them that have killed enough people and then say they didn't do it. And they use it under the guise of, I was fearing for my life. No, he did not have a gun, but I was fearing for my life. No, he had his hands up and he was bowing down. He was fearful of me, but I feared for my life, so I shot him. No, he was running away, or she was running away, or they were sleeping in their cars, and they woke up, and I feared for my life, so I shot them 20 times. And then I planted the gun, or I did something else, or there was something else, or we didn't get the body, or we took the body away to make sure that you didn't have the evidence. They took the body away. They'll get the ambulance will come, even though the person has passed. And then they'll take that body to a Kaiser or to a Summit or somewhere and say, oh, they were alive at this point, but what they're really doing is they're hiding your evidence. They strip your clothes. They strip everything. They take bullets out because they make sure that you don't have a chance against their power, what they consider their power, of telling a lie and trying to make sure that it is the truth in the news or in whatever media they use. So I just urge you to please keep the courage up. Please keep coming out even if you get tired, even if they brutalize you, even if they do it. If you can't do it, and find someone who can stand for you. Because not all of us are able to get up here and talk. Not all of us are able to get and do it, but we are all able to do something. You're good at something. And so you find someone to get the courage when you don't have the courage, and they stand for you. So let's stand tall. Have a good day. Thank you.